Good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's Leadership Satsang session. I'm your leadership coach, Yukti Kapoor, Mehandiratta. Sincere apologies for this little slight delay today because it took me a while to wrap up my earlier session, but I'm right here on that part of the month when we open the house for any questions that you may have, because we all face challenges. And when we are dealing with challenges, and we are blessed to be a part of a tribe, then we don't need to deal with these challenges alone. And the fact that you're dealing with challenges tells you that you are growing, because only when you push yourself towards growth will you do something new, or will you face a different situation. And when you're facing a different situation, sometimes it looks like a challenge. So, challenge is a testimony of the fact that you are out of your comfort zone, that you are growing or making an attempt to get to where you want to be, where you deserve to be. So it's great that we are facing challenges. Those who are within their comfort zone, they don't face challenges because they don't want to go beyond what they already know. It's people like you. If you face more challenges, it should tell you that you're on your way towards growth, right? And that growth sometimes means working on yourself. That's also growth, isn't it? Right? You might wonder, what's the problem with this new organization that I have joined? Everybody seems to have a problem with me, and that is my challenge right now. But that challenge tells you how to prepare yourself to lead all sorts of people, because there are all sorts of people in this world. It takes all to make the world. In fact, I think it'll be very boring if the whole world is just your clone or my clone, right? This variety, this diversity is what makes this world such a beautiful place to live in, which means it's going to come with its own perspectives and differences and disagreements. And sometimes this could look like a challenge. So, whatever is the challenge you're looking at right now, first congratulate yourself that you have one, and then bring it on and share it with me. Okay, that's exactly why I open this session, the last Satsang session, only for your questions, and not, come up with a topic. Of course, each of the topics that I pick are always aligned to the emails that you keep writing, and all the challenges and concerns that people share with me on email. And that's what helps me to decide what will I be talking in the next week's session. So this is one opportunity where we connect live, and I'll pick up your questions from your comments in a bit. Before that, we will bring ourselves into this moment completely. And how do we do that? By chanting Om together. The most powerful chant, which has no religious connotation. I keep saying this because I need to remind you of the fact that spirituality is beyond religion. It's the reality of your spirit. And to be able to discover that reality, connect with that reality, you have to connect with yourself. And this chant just helps you to establish that connection. You, of course, need to do it for much longer, but in the interest of time, we will chant 5 times. So in your own time and space, please just do it for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 10 minutes, for as long as you can, and you will feel the difference. You will see how it makes you feel, right? You just come back home with Om, right? Om brings you home. I just love this connection, right? Om brings you home. So let's go back home here. Forget about the world. Forget about how this day was or how it will be in the next 1 hour. Just be here with me in this moment completely, and find a nice, comfortable place to sit. Keep your spine straight, your shoulders relaxed. Close your eyes and take a nice deep breath in. And breathe out. See if you can place your feet on the floor. That'll help you to feel more grounded. Take another beautiful breath in. And breathe out. And with the next breath, we will start the chant. You will chant Om as you exhale. And see if you can do it out loud if your environment allows, so that you can feel the vibrations. Take a nice deep breath in. Oh. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And whenever you're ready, rub your palms together till you can feel warmth between them, and then gently place them on your eyes and your ears and throat and shoulders and your entire body, and slowly come back. Come back. Come into this moment and let me know if you're 100% here. Are you 100% here? Give me 100% in the comments, please. Me 100%. Slowly come back. All right, let's see if you're 100% here. I have already answered your question, Indiran. Okay. That's nice. Okay, I see a question from you, Naveen. I will come to it, but I just want to be sure that you're here first. So, welcome, Hoishi, Achal. So good to have you here after a long time, Achal. Yeah, Hoishi, thank you for being here. Always, always. I think that's the word I can use for you. Always here, Indiran. Always here in these sessions. I love that. Surendra, always in these sessions. Thank you so much, Naveen, for joining in. Ruhi, Karnam, thank you for joining in. Karnam Prabhakar Rao, so good to have you here. Welcome. Welcome to the satsang session. Hi, Milan, so good to have you here. And good to know that you're 100% here, not just here, but 100% here. Wow, Jitendra, long time no see. Yeah, it's been a couple of minutes of separation. And it's good to end it right here with this session. So thank you for joining in. Good to have you here. All right, all right. So with that, let me open the house for your questions. Please bring it on. BIO, bring it on. Put your questions in the chat, in the comments, and I will take them in the same sequence as I receive it. I see one, I think, from Naveen. And Naveen, you're saying we are told to be genuine with who we are. But if we keep doing that, we can't be someone else who we want to be. So is it correct to sometimes behave as someone else who we want to be? Let me take a while to understand your question, Naveen, and then I'll make an attempt to respond, okay? You're saying that you are a particular person, and that's what we tell ourselves and each other always, to be genuine, to be who you are. And then there is this someone else you want to become. This is not someone people want you to be. Have I got it right, Naveen? Right? So you want to behave differently so that you can become who you want to become. Have I got it right? Please confirm it to me in the comments before I answer. So there are two things. One is I behave in a particular way, and people want me or expect me to behave in a different way. That's one way of saying that I need to, this is me and this is what I'm expected to be. Another is to say, I behave in a particular way, but I want to behave in a different way so that I can become who I want to become. What's your question, Naveen? It's important that I understand, because it needs to come out clear to me on what is the challenge that you're sharing. What's your question? I still don't see it in the comments. I'm going to wait for that to reflect, and then I will answer, because the answer is very different. The response is very, very different when someone is asking you to behave in a certain way because you're a leader, and that might not be who you think you are. So you're wondering, should I be who I'm not because people want that from me? That's a very different situation. And if the situation is that I behave in this way, for example, I don't take risks, I'm very risk averse. But if I have to do big and achieve big and become a more significant, important, relevant person, I need to be more open to taking risk. Is that your question? I still don't see a response from you, Naveen. I'm going to wait for that and then I'll come back to your question because it's important I understand where are you coming from. You're saying we're told to be genuine with who we are, but if we keep doing that, we can't be someone else who we want to be. I have a feeling that you're looking at becoming a different person. And if that's your question, please confirm it to me in the chat. Till then, I'm moving on to the next question. So I'm holding my response till I get that clarity from you, Naveen. Okay, so the next question here is from Hoishi, and she asks, what strategies can we use to motivate and inspire our team? Brilliant question. Because as a leader, that is an ask, isn't it? That is something which comes as a given when you are leading a team. When you're leading a team, people should be able to look up to you and you should become a source of inspiration and motivation for people. So when we look at, taking this responsibility to become an inspiration for people, it's very important, Hoishi, to ask ourselves, what could possibly inspire people? People like you and me. So if these people who we want to inspire are people like you and me, then it's easier to understand what inspires you, what inspires me. What is it that could be inspiring to see in somebody else? And that's where I can draw my inspiration from. If I get clarity on that, it becomes easier for me to understand what people are probably asking of me as a leader. How can I be that inspiration for someone? That's one way of looking at it. So, for example, you might value character in a leader. You might value the fact that a leader should walk the talk. A leader should not say something else, do something else. And if that's a leader I see, that's a leader I respect. I get that inspiration from such a leader. And so, as a leader, I should be more willing to walk the talk. I should be mindful and conscious of that. Having said that, when we look at inspiration, it's very personal. What inspires you might be different from what inspires me. I just gave an example of walking the talk. Genuinely, that inspires me. When I see somebody who is congruent in their communication, there is congruence in the way they communicate, the way they behave, it's very inspiring for me because it's very difficult to do that. It's very easy to say, very difficult to live your life like that, to just be who you are and be comfortable in your own skin. Right? If I see such people, especially at senior level, those who achieved whatever they have achieved and they are recognized for their work and they are still comfortable with who they are and they can show their vulnerabilities and their imperfections, I think that's truly inspiring. Instead of trying to create a picture perfect scenario in front of others to say, oh my God, sab kuch meri life mein bahut hi perfect hai. I am perfect and my life is perfect. Instead of that, you show that, you know what, here are my blemishes, here are my mistakes, here are my imperfections, and that's me too. But for somebody else, something else could be inspiring in other people. So inspiration is not a responsibility that we can take as a leader, even though it is expected of us. Having said that, what we can do and take responsibility for, and we must, is to be genuine, honest, and authentic. That's a responsibility. Walking the talk, for example, is a responsibility you should take as an individual anyway, right? Whether you have a team of 2 or 20 or don't have one at all. Like being more honest and genuine is what establishes your character. And if you can hold your character, there is a substance to you. And if there is substance to you, there will be a following automatically. Leaders don't work towards creating followers. Leaders earn those followers by being who they are. You don't need to create them, right? They will just find you and they will follow you. You don't go seeking them. And I know it can be very confusing in today's social media era where we are seeking followers because followers are somewhere creating a credibility. And if we don't have enough followers, then maybe we're not making enough sense because the entire world is driven by social proof today, more than ever before. It was pretty much there before as well. But today, it's all there in front of your eyes. You can't miss it. You buy basis what other people buy. You follow basis who other people follow. You do basis what everybody else does. We are just in this mob mindset. That's what we're doing. Group thinking. We're just following like a herd, complete herd mentality in everything, And in such a scenario, to find yourself and be yourself, oh my God, it's no cakewalk. It's very difficult. Work in that direction, you will become an inspiration on your own. That's what I'm trying to tell you here. But when we talk about motivation, it's slightly different there. Motivation means what? Motivation means understanding the aspirations, needs, desires, and wants of people you lead. And if there is one responsibility you have as a leader outside of shaping yourself into a better person, is to understand people who work with you. Every single person who works with you in your team, whether they report to you or they're working with you as a peer, it's your responsibility to understand their needs, their wants, their desires, their aspirations, and that is what will help you to understand their motivators. Because we also have different motivators. Everybody has a different motivator. Money doesn't motivate everybody in the same way. Some people are more motivated if you throw a challenge at them. Some people are more motivated if you recognize their effort. Some people are more motivated if you just appreciate something about them as often as you can. There are different ways in which people get motivated. What motivates you might not motivate the person sitting next to you. So what do? We spend that time with each one of the people we work closely with to understand their motivators, understand what drives them. And if you can't get it, ask. That's the best way. Just ask. What motivates you? What drives you? What gets you crazy to do beyond your comfort zone? What pushes you beyond your limit? What is that thing that truly excites you? And you obviously don't ask these questions when you are in an appraisal discussion, right? This is a way to connect with each other, know each other. And the more you know your team, the more you know what motivates them, the easier it gets to motivate. Motivation is not one thing. It's not one action. It depends on the person you intend to motivate. And motivation can be done. It can be planned. There can be a method to it, a conscious effort. Unlike inspiration, as I explained a while back, right? Inspiration, please don't take load. Try to be a better person every day. You will inspire people who are willing to be inspired. Motivation needs work. And that work is for you to understand people and understand their specific motivators. I hope I've answered your question. Please give me a confirmation or your comment in the chat, please. Was this useful? Please say useful in the chat, Hoishi, if this response is giving you some more clarity on your question and the situation. Right, I'm also keeping a check on Naveen in the chat to see if he's come back. And if not, I'm moving to the next question. Might just be the last one for this evening. And let's see what that is. That's from Jitendra, and he asks, how important are mindset and skill set in a leadership journey? Okay, wonderful question. How important is mindset and skill set? All right, let me put it this way. If I give you two different types of seeds, okay? One is a very high quality seed, which is like, with no adulterant in it and pure high quality seed. And the other is a fairly cheaper version of that seed. And you sow the seed in the same land. Will you get the same result or different result? Same or different? Give it to me in the chat. High quality seed, medium level, mediocre quality seed. Same result, different result. Will they both will sprout out, hopefully, right? And if they do, will they give you the same result? Will they both blossom? Will they both sprout out in the same way, or will there be a difference in the quality? Same or different? Give me same or different. Different, right? Yeah. So if the seed quality is better, we are expecting better results. We are expecting that plant to be healthier because the seed quality is better. Provided the land in which it was sown was fertile. Because if the land is not fertile, then do you agree that no matter how high quality this seed is, it's not going to sprout out into a plant? Because the soil is infertile. What can the seed do? Seed requires the soil more than it requires the sunlight and the water and a few other things as well. but nothing without the soil that needs to hold its roots as it grows, right? Do you agree? Give me agree in the chat, please. You agree? Thank you. Right? So here is what we need to understand about leadership. This is what we need to keep in mind. The seed is your skill set. And when you learn from a high quality source, when you learn the skills which are most needed in your environment, when you learn it from the person who excels in that particular skill, you know that you have a high quality seed there. But that seed will not blossom, will not sprout into a healthy plant if you don't prepare the soil first. And that soil is your mindset. The way you think, the way you develop perspectives, the way you allow yourself to see the world, the lens through which you see relationships and people. That is mindset. If you don't work on that mindset, if you're unaware of the many limiting beliefs that blur this vision, you know how blur our vision can be if you're seeing through a window and the window is not clean enough, then the view outside also doesn't look clear to you. You got to wipe the window clean to be able to see through it. And that is a window of your mind. If you don't clean that often enough, by the way, just as how dust settles on your windows every day, experiences of life create that blurred vision in the window of your mind also as often. Let me tell you that. It is not a one-time effort. You don't do it when you cross 70 and now you think you have the time. Or you don't do it because you attended one retreat, spiritual retreat somewhere and you think, ho gaya mera to window bilkul clear hai. My mindset has been worked upon. I'm a new person now. Sure you are. But you know what? The dust of life will keep settling in again and again and again. And you've got to keep clearing this window of your mind. You have to keep the soil fertile. You have to keep plucking out the weeds that will grow around this plant, right? So that the soil nutrients are channelized in the right direction towards the growth, the way you desire it to be. So while the seed is important, the skill is important, it doesn't have much value if the mindset has not been worked upon. And the skills can be taught by somebody else for their own interest as well. So your organization might say, you know what? I need Jitendra to perform for our profits. We've got to give him this training. And he has to learn these skills. He's got to learn how to handle the team better. Go learn team building. Go learn how to collaborate in a better way. These are skills. Communicate. Go learn how to communicate. These are skills that you can learn from external sources. And maybe you will find sponsors. But what you learn, how you learn, and what you eventually apply, that is happening here at your mindset level. Therefore, only you can and must take responsibility to work on your mindset, to keep challenging your own beliefs, to keep breaking out of them, to keep trying to go beyond your conviction, whatever you call as your conviction. I'm convinced this is the right thing. Challenge your right, because your right is not universal right, because there is no universal right and there is no universal wrong. Whatever you think is wrong, somebody else will come and prove how right it is. Do you agree? That's how it is. So can we be less righteous? Can we be more open? Can we be willing to challenge ourselves despite our 20,000 years of experience that we think we have and all the knowledge that we think we carry? Are we willing to be challenged? Are we willing to work on our mindset? If we are, then skill set is just going to accelerate the growth. That's how it helps us to become more effective as leaders. I hope that answered your question, Jitendra. Very good question. Thank you for asking. Yeah, thank you. You confirmed that in the chat. Thank you so much. And that's all the time we have. I see a few more questions here. And I would like to invite you to either send them to me through email, because if I get similar questions on email, that becomes a very compelling reason for me to take that up as a topic in the upcoming satsang sessions. I will put my email address in the chat. Many of you have it already, but it is yukti@sbyacademy.com. So there it is in the chat again. And I would love to hear from you. What are the challenges you're facing that I can help you with? And of course, next month, we will meet again on the last Tuesday with another such opportunity to ask questions live here. with me as we enjoy this time together. Thank you so much for joining in every single Tuesday. Means a lot that you hear, means a lot that you're pushing yourself to become a better version of who you are. And that in itself makes me so proud of the fact that you're part of my tribe. I thank you so much for being you. Thank you for joining in today. I will see you next week with another insight in the space of leadership and spirituality. Till then, please take very good care of yourself.